Howdy y'all. Well, I think we got it figured out, and we got some work to do. A lot of work, a lot of heavy work again. We're gonna get the sprockets pulled off here. We need to get inside so we can fix those bellow seals. Stay tuned. Dad's getting a few measurements on here so that we can see how far the sprocket's pressed on here. We have a feeling we bottomed out the bellows on the other side. And I've said it before and I'll say it again, I'm not afraid to show my mistakes here. So let's just see how much it's going to take to pop this thing off of here. What do you got, Dad?
2.565 on opposite sides.
Okay. And what did we have before that we thought?
Well, our numbers from before, we ended up about 100 thousandths short of being on, but we assumed it was because we had new bearings and races in here. So it left the everything a little further out. But I guess we're going to find out.
Yeah, it may be the new bearings and races, and it may be that we bottomed out on that bellow seal. But before we go any further, we want to take it apart and make sure. This is sprocket pull number 5. A little over 1,000 PSI. I think we went to what, 44?
Yeah, 44. 43 or 44.
2,000. 3,000. Just over 3,000.
31 or 200.
Yeah.
She's off.
Yeah, it is.
It was on.
It scared the heck out of me. I'd say we definitely are getting our money's worth out of this puller, wouldn't you?
Franken puller's done number 5 now.
Poor old thing. Sprocket number 6. 3,000 PSI. Something. About 37.
This one always came off harder.
Yeah. Say almost 4,000.
About 39.
Yeah. We have some amazing neighbors that are great machinists, and they helped us out here. So here's the original thickness of these spacers we made for the bellow seal, and they were just too thick, and it bottomed out our bellow seal. So we've turned these other ones down quite a bit, and you can see the difference in them, and that should be about what we need. So big thanks to our neighbors for helping us out with this one.
These were 1/2 inch thick. We took 135 thousandths off, which should give us, between the two of them, that's almost 300 thousandths, or 3/10 of an inch, which should give us enough that our bellow seals will not bottom out now.
Not only were our spacers too thick on the bellow seal, the cork that I used behind this washer here was too thick. I used 1/8 inch, it should have been 16, and you can see right here that that dowel pin is not quite flush with the edge of this, so this washer barely has any contact with those pins. I'm going to pull this out off camera and put a thinner gasket in there. So I got the new spacers on here. These are trimmed down to where they should be. Give us a lot more room. I've also put a thinner gasket on the sprocket side. So I know you've seen this before, so we're going to skip ahead to pressing this on. A little grease. There it goes. We're going to shoot for 4,200 PSI?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. Going relatively easy, Dad.
Well, keep
That's
going.
about 42.
Really? Is it
Yes.
still pumping easy?
Relatively.
Go to 44. Go another 200.
44? Right there. What do you think?
I don't know. What do you think?
Still pumping.
It pushed it on from just eyeballing them bolts. It pushed it on. Go a little more if you'd like.
I don't know if I want to. I don't want to break something.
Okay. It's springing back
Yeah.
a little bit.
Back out?
Yeah.
That means that we were probably pressed on to where it stops. But nothing binded or held up.
No. Yeah, I'm just under 290 now.
So we did go on a little further.
Probably another 3 or 4 thousandths.
Okay. Got our nut on, got our lock washer on, we're putting the bearing on, and then we're going to put the bearing cage on. A little grease on our bellows seal. We're going to put this outer bearing cage on here. Everything's done and ready in there. I got everything cleaned really well and degreased. The plan here, since this Porta-Power only has about a ½ inch of throw, is to draw these nuts up as far as we can. It's a 20-ton press. That should be more than adequate because it's taken less than 20 or around 20 to pump them off before. Okay.
Got resistance already?
Yes.
Wish we had a gauge.
Yeah, I do too. I don't, for this little guy, I don't.
You know what it felt like when we did it before?
Yeah, and it felt like it bottomed out and got hard. It is not feeling like that yet, and I pushed it out about a 1/16 or an 1/8 of an inch. What do you think?
You got good tension, you feel?
Yeah.
It's resisting pretty good.
Yes.
All right, well, back it off and see if it stays. That will be the true test.
Give it a couple more pumps here. God, I don't like this.
Well, back it off, see if it stays
It's
together.
not pumping super hard, that's the thing. This nut, oh, you are. Both of them are off.
Yeah, here, let me.
Oh, it was pressed. And we knocked it loose.
We're not
put some washers behind here too.
We're not getting it on.
No.
And I don't know why. I don't know why.
Well, it's springing off still.
Which means it's not pressed onto that taper.
We were closer this time because it held up for a minute.
It should. When that's pressed on that taper, that puppy should be tight.
Yeah. So I loosened this nut. We're going to give it another try and see if it's going to stay.
It moved maybe the width of a pencil lead.
It's not even pressing hard, Dad.
I don't know what's going on. Back it off, see if it comes off.
Well, we ain't got it. It ain't moved at all.
Just a tiny bit. My line is just moved in a little bit.
Now it's got resistance. Right there.
And it hardly moved.
I wonder if I need to go the other direction with that big nut over here.
I don't know. I see my mark.
That was interesting.
It came back a little bit.
Well,
just a few thousandths. Your pressure off?
Yeah. That was interesting, that pop.
Yeah, it came back.
Did it? Bummer.
Yeah,
it came off.
It's not on. It's not anywhere close to going on.
We've made contact with the bearing. You can see in the race there that the grease from the bearing's on it. And that you said the bellows contacted the washer.
Yeah. You can see witness in there.
The problem we think we're having is if we tighten the nut all the way up, the race contacts the bearing first and bottoms it out before it'll completely press on. Or if we loosen it, the bellows seal bottoms out before it will completely press on.
But here's the thing, that that race should float back and forth in there.
It should.
So
yeah.
Once it comes with, if there's enough resistance on the bearing, then it should just simply push that race back in the...
That's true. I didn't think about that.
It should float.
It can't float, though, if the collar, this nut, is up against this collar in here. It won't let it float once it's bottomed out. It won't float if this nut is up against here. It's not going to float this way. Once it contacts the bearing in there, it can't move. We just went clockwise with this nut, which should loosen it according to the book, and it looks like it did because we had all this off of here and checked it. But that gave us a lot more room. So we're maybe guessing that our bearing was bottoming out. I'm not sure, but we did get a lot more threads on this nut on our pusher. So we're going to give this a try. And we noticed that when we drew up the bolts that go through this, it actually pushed it on a little bit. So yeah. We'll see here. Here we go.
You should be able to feel it.
Alright, this is like 4th or 5th or 6th times a charm, maybe.
I don't know.
Hopefully.
It's been at least, well, we tried it over here 4 or 5 times.
Yeah. My pump's working now. Definitely got resistance. Added a little oil.
We're not...
Well, that's the nut.
That pencil mark never moved.
I don't know what to do.
I don't either.
I cannot figure out what the heck is going on here.
Did you release it?
Yeah.
Here, I'll have to loosen the bolts. You should be able to come out.
Let me unscrew it, see what happens. Yes.
It hasn't moved.
It's on.
Let me get my calipers.
I think we're on.
Yeah, we're right at 80.
Okay. So we're on. Going to put a bit of grease on here and put our pillow block on so we can get the nut on here. We are cautiously optimistic that this is on far enough, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a...
We want to get the nut on there before we even try to adjust the bearings. We got 2 spacers that go on next after the pillow block. And we got 2 on each side, so we're going to put them right back the way they were. Right there, and next spacer with the dowels in it. Right there. Our nut, and we got to tighten this up, and then put our lock, I guess, on there. However that will line up. Snug her up. That's our 2 1/4 socket, ain't it?
Yeah. Does that clear them pins? I guess so.
Yeah, it does. Didn't it say 3-foot cheater?
Not for this. That's for the bearings, but I would imagine this would need to be that too. So I will go get a...
Let's see how close we are to our lock. We're pretty close. Go a smidge more. Gonna put the breaker bar on here with a good extension. That's pretty good.
See how your lock works.
Oh, we're very close.
More?
If you could go just a little more.
I think we can.
There you go. Hold it. There it is. Perfect.
Okay.
And if you're wondering what holds this lock washer on, Dad was just explaining that this is stepped in here, so it can't back out of there once we get that on there.
And then the upper step goes around your...
The bigger washer.
The big washer there. So that's how that works.
All right. We'll get our bearing set. We'll put that together. The next part here is to preload the bearing. We need to turn this nut counterclockwise as tight as we can get it with a 3-foot extension, and then back it off 1 tooth and lock it down. So according to the book, counterclockwise, and it's moving. Put my cheater on here, and I have to use this thinner spanner wrench. Of course, Cat says to use their tool, but I don't have it, so. That's like right there.
They say with the 3-foot extension, as tight as you can get it. How much did it move?
Quite a bit. About 1 full revolution, roughly. Now that we have that bearing up all the way, they say to back it off 1 cog and then put our pin in here to lock it. There's our lock right here. We got that as tight as we can get it right there, so we need to back it off 1 cog. All right, go ahead, Dad.
Say when.
Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
Seems like a lot.
Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
That's just 1 cog?
Yes. Keep going. Right. Keep going. Right there. That's it.
Okay.
That's where it's supposed to be.
It seems further than that, but
Yeah.
that's what the book says.
That's what it says. So let's snug this up. I need a 9/16, please.
Alrighty. Hang on. I guess we should see if it'll turn, huh? You put the clutch in. See if it'll turn, huh? It turns.
Yeah. It's turning fine.
Yeah.
Good. I'll go ahead and snug up these. These are what lock the adjuster in here. And last but not least, we got to put the cap on here. But I have a gasket, actually a Caterpillar gasket, a 1A5418 for these. I'm going to get that on there to hold everything in place. And because all this does is hold a little bit of grease in here and keep dirt out, the other side doesn't have a seal, I'm not going to bother with silicone. And these are a 3/4. Okay, we're done with this side. Okay, you ready?
I am.
Yeah, them are tight. I got pressure already.
Well, the bolts took it up.
Yeah. 1,000. 2,000. 3,000. 4,000. 42 almost. 43. I'm 44. What do you think?
Go to 45 and you're done. That's what you did on the other one.
That'd be about right there.
Okay.
Hair over. We calling this good? We're happy with that?
I think so. What do you think? Are you?
Well, it's holding. I wouldn't go back there.
No, I'm not going to tap it or nothing. I want to kind of... Oh, yeah. It pushed on. It's on.
Okay. All right. I'll let her off.
Hold it. Let me see how much it springs. Go ahead.
You can catch that if it...
Yeah. Go ahead. Hurry up and get that thing on.
Yes.
Now. Oh, yeah, look.
It looks on about the same as the other side was.
Let me check it.
Well, what do you think?
I think we're on.
I do too.
That's what I think.
The way it popped. I bottomed out my press.
Yeah, there's about 122 right there.
All right, let's put it together then. Get a little grease on there, but you guys have seen it from here, so. And there's an after. We got everything tight, everything set, and the preload set on our bearings. We're ready to go. Well, there you have it, folks. That was quite a struggle, but we managed to make our way through it with a lot of help from our neighbors. So we're happy. We can sleep for a while. And up next, engines. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.
I think we shall call you Mini Cleaner.
Okay.